Boy John Ashraf, I have BB Pro to tell like it is. We're back with another workout. Again, SST training. This time we're gonna hit hamstrings. I just went over some points on squatting and hinging in my last video. So check this one out. We're gonna do a lot more of hamstring isolated exercise. Why? Because right now I kind of tweak my arm. When it comes to any kind of pulling, like sumos, Romanian deadlifts, I want to give this a little bit of break. Even though we're not pulling much with your arm, I don't want to put much stress on it stretching out. So I'm gonna really give myself a little bit of a break and really use this to isolate hamstrings. Plus, when it comes to my knee, kind of bum that out a little bit too. When it comes to doing hamstrings, trying to stay away from the knee is that I don't want to have my knee completely down like that because, obviously that's giving me a lot of irritation. I want to make sure I heal before I bang out legs again. So with this, we're going to do a lot more of just hamstring exercises. So right now, we're going to start off with our 2 clusters like before, seated hamstring curls. We're going to go from there, then we're going to go into our next set, which will actually do hip thrusts. Then we're going to get into lying hamstring curls. We're gonna do with a dumbbell, then we're gonna get into hyperextension, which is a cool way to do hyperextensions. I'm gonna do 2 of those for your exercise. So guys, you might think this is just, just hamstrings. Listen, this is hamstrings, but it will absolutely kill you. It's like almost working biceps. That's why it's called the bicep femoris, right? The femur, the bicep on the femur. Little science for you guys, for you science-based dudes. There's some terminology for you. Anyway, guys, so when it comes to building hamstrings, we can do it without any really flexion or hips. If we wanna work our glutes, sumos, any kind of hinging or at the hips, flexion the hips, you're gonna get more glute workout. But we can do anything we want by isolating the hamstrings and not touching the glutes at all by just working on just knee flexion. The only time we really hit the glutes is the hyperextensions later, which is a little more of a hybrid one, really good for guys and girls, a bang for your buck workout. Anyway, I'm gonna start with this right now. I'm gonna get my first set, just to kind of warm myself up a little bit more. I've already done a little bit of a warm up. I'm gonna do another one, just 10 reps full, and then we're gonna get into our clusters. Remember, 5 clusters, 15 seconds in between each 5 reps. Rest and do it again. Okay, so for hamstring curls, so seated, we're gonna do a couple things. Number 1, just the first set, make sure that the padding is right by your teardrop so you have free flow from that joint here, that knee joint. Push yourself at the back of the bench, hips up, nice tight core from here. And then when you're pulling down, we're gonna point our toes to lengthen that hamstring even more, so get a little more activation in the hamstring. I'll show you guys why, but for now, just 10 reps and pull, squeeze. Now if you watch, the only thing moving is that knee joint, right? I'm not having my hands come up here or this stuff. I'm really focusing on keeping my hips locked, everything here, and really squeezing that weight.
Last name Apple, first name greatest.
All right, so a couple things. So I'm not gonna just go over like every detail of your hamstrings and what's involved, the different, parts of your hamstring. Just know that there are a lot of back there that do different things. All of them connect to the back of your knee and they do knee flexion, that's their job. There's also parts of your hamstring that help with internal rotation, external rotation. When we point our toe and we do our pointer toe this way, like plantar flex, and then we internal rotate, we're gonna hit a different part of our hamstring. We point it straight, different part of our hamstring, and we point out, different part of our hamstring. If we pull that foot up, that's basically gonna shorten the hamstring and make it a little more easier to pull down. Pointing your toe is way, way harder, so we'll give it a try. Anyway, we're gonna start our first set of clusters. Now for me, hamstrings, my favorite type of pump pain. I don't know what it is. There's something about hamstrings. I love it, I love the feel, I love the pump. I'm quite opposite of most guys out there. Let's do it again. You will feel a lot more in your calves too, because in that plantar flex position with your foot like this, point your toes. So you're getting a lot of that activation right from the calf all the way to the hamstring, right to the top. Anyway, we're gonna head over to this Smith machine and we're gonna do glute bridges. Load this bad boy up. Base like before, 10 reps. You're gonna take 45-second rest, max reps. For a 30-second rest, max reps, 50-second rest, max reps, 5-second rest, pulses, and then back up again. So we're gonna go over here and load this thing up because this is one of my favorite ones to do because I got strong glutes and hams. So here's one where we're getting both hamstrings and glutes, and we're getting a lot more isolation when it comes to hip flexion. So glute bridges are great to do, but glute bridges actually come from doing them from the floor to work on your hip drive that helps you with that top third of your deadlift, your squat, the hinging or squatting movement. You get that last pop. That's what it's actually for. It's not really for you to build your booty. It just happens to build a really nice booty when you do it like that. So.
Last name Apple, first name greatest.
Get yourself underneath. Now, big thing is feet placement. You want to keep these heels as close to as much as you can to our butt, so you get a lot more range of motion. Then we're underneath. Get the mid part of your back, like the bottom part of your scaps, on the bench. From here, we're gonna put this thing right by our waist, not sitting on our pelvis, but sitting on the top of our thighs. Right from here, we're gonna press the weight up, back. Now, on the way down, your whole body moves down like a dead. Not just move your hips like this. We're not trying to do that. Your whole body goes down, whole body goes, looks to the sky, pushes up from your heels. External rotate the hips, take the knees out, and push.
Last name Apple, first name greatest.
Okay, so next one we're doing 10 sets of 3 reps, split them 5, basically split in 5. So the first 5 of the 10 of 3 reps, resting 15 seconds in between each 3. The last 5, we're resting 20 seconds in between each 3. And then we're gonna do basically lying dumbbell hamstring curls. So we're getting like maximum hamstring activation this whole exercise. I love doing these because when you're on the ground, when you're doing lying hamstring curls with the dumbbells, you're forcing a lot more adaptation from your legs having to squeeze together from top to bottom to make sure you hold the dumbbell. Then you're getting plantar flexion because you gotta point your toes to hold the balance. Then you get dorsiflexion at the top. And then you're just really like lengthening the whole hamstring right from the bottom. So try this one, it's really good. You can do these in regular sets, 3 sets of 10, 15, 4 sets, whatever. We're doing these clusters, but really good one to do. And easier for me because I've been lying on my stomach the whole time. So when I'm doing this, I'm really trying to keep my hips on the ground as much as I can. Sometimes I can't because my hip mobility is not as good on the floor like this, but we're gonna force as much as we can so we can keep it flat. If not, get a little bit of piece like this to kind of take away from that gap there to help you out.
Last name Apple, first name greatest.
Okay, so next exercise we're doing, it's a hyperextension. It's a little different. We're gonna actually be on a bench. We're gonna actually like hook our feet underneath and a dorsal flex. So your toes are gonna be pointing towards your shins. So you're gonna lock your feet underneath this part of your bench. And then from there, you're gonna have your hips hanging off the bench and you're pulling up with your glutes. You're not really pulling with your back much at all. We're not trying to get our rectors involved much at all. We're trying to get our glutes to squeeze up. So what we're gonna do with this one is basically 10 reps. We're gonna drop the weight, 6-second negative, drop the weight, 6-second concentric max reps, drop the weight, and then we're just gonna hold the contraction for 6 seconds and do that twice. So here it is. So last one, we're gonna finish off with same thing, but we're gonna change the scheme up. We're gonna do 9 total reps, 3 regular reps, 3 with the 6-second negative, 3 regular reps, 2 sets of that, and that'll be that. When you're on a regular hyperextension machine, sometimes it's either flat, sorry, on an angle, and you get more back from that. And then some are just actually your glute ham raise machines, which are basically flat like this, but then you hook in from your heels this way. With this is we have to hook your legs, your feet, your heels, squeeze your abduction from the legs, hip abduction, and as well, a little bit of back activation and hyperextension, but a lot more pulling with the glutes than anything else. It's the last set. All right, guys, that's it for today. Under workout, hamstrings mainly, with some glutes in there. Obviously, to make this a little more, with more glutes in it, we could have added like Smith machine squats, or if you have a reverse or V squat machine, we could add a leg press, high stance leg press, or even do sumo deadlifts. Just to really isolate hamstrings and really stay away from any kind of lingering issues I had before. This is actually a killer. My hams are toast. I'm gonna make sure I warm these down, roll them. I get out a video next on how to properly use a roller and using, lacrosse ball resistance bands to help with the mobility and some tissue work you do on your own. A lot of you guys out there probably don't take care of yourselves, and as health professionals, we sometimes lacking too. So make sure you're doing your recovery work after you train. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. When it comes with that, tell like it is, truth, vulnerable, transparent content. And guys, for coaching, johnashid.com, guys, come in, get in the best shape of your life for the rest of your life. If you guys don't know about coaching, you can book a consult, 15, 30 minutes. At the end of the consult, if you want to keep going with it, I'll take off the price of the consult from any package you choose. Anyway, guys, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, _JohnAshid_. If you guys do any of these workouts at all, make sure you guys tag me in it, and I'll do my best to respond to everybody. Make sure you guys follow my sweet gym. More cool stuff's coming in. Signage, equipment, handles, the works. Anyway, guys, you know what it is. Iron sharpens iron, progressive overload life. In the meantime, keep gym chasing. Peace.